Welcome. This video is a recording of a live program previously presented by the Cincinnati Asian Arts Society. CAS is a volunteer-run, nonprofit organization open to anyone interested in the visual and performing arts of China, Japan, Korea, South Asia, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East.
Welcome to the Cincinnati Asian Arts Society's April 19, 2026 program. I'm Helen Rinsberg, President of the Society. We're happy that you could join us today. Our presentation is Journey from Korea by JeeEun Lee. She will share her personal artistic journey between two cultures, how she has worked to bridge this divide, and the changes she went through that are reflected in her artwork then and now. Ms. Lee earned her Bachelor of Fine Arts in 1998 and her Master of Fine Arts in 2002 in sculpture from Ua Women's University College of Fine Arts in Seoul, Korea. In 2013, she earned an additional Master of Fine Arts from Syracuse University College of Visual and Performing Arts in New York. Her work has been featured in numerous solo, 2- and 3-person exhibits and group exhibits, including international shows in Seoul, Korea, and Kitakyushu, Japan. In America, she has exhibited in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Denver, Colorado. Ms. Lee is currently Assistant Professor of Ceramics in the School of Arts at Northern Kentucky University. She has also taught at Syracuse University. She has been a visiting artist and a juror for many ceramic exhibitions, including, I love this title, Scrap Showdown at Newport on the Levee in Kentucky. I have to ask her about that one. As a member of the Creative Asian Society, she received their 2021 Professional Development Award. She has earned a number of scholarships, including to the Chautauqua Summer Institute in New York, and a 2-year Jerome Solomon Memorial Scholarship. Her series, Water Memories and Drift, was featured in the 2021 catalog, Rivers Connect, Unstoppable Forces in Contemporary Ceramics. Let's welcome JeeEun Lee.
Thank you, Helen. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this afternoon. It is a great honor to be here sharing my work today. My name is JeeEun Lee. I'm an artist and teacher. I'm currently working at Northern Kentucky University as an associate professor. This is self-portrait with my charcoal and graphite. I originally came from South Korea, which is still divided into two, North and South. The small red dot is South Korea. The image on the bottom is Seoul City. There is a 13-hour time difference between Korea and the US. The size of the country is perhaps smaller than you expected. Can you guess? The South Korea is a similar size to the state of New Jersey. It's pretty small. You can go anywhere in 5 to 6 hours if there is no traffic. So total population is about 50 million, a lot of people. So first, I want to talk about how I started my art making and my early career first. In my middle school days, I loved to work with a paper clay that can dry at a room temperature, making clay figurines and dolls. I was so fascinated by making these, and I was collecting lots of Japanese clay books. Even if my mother majored in Korean traditional painting and one of my sisters majored in fiber art, at the time my parents didn't want me to pursue art because they knew how hard it was to make a living as an artist and to be a good one and eventually get a job. So they wanted me to focus more on my studies to become doctor or engineer. But they couldn't stop me. Therefore, I hid all my figurines in my closet and in my drawer and kept making it. So eventually, I persuaded my parents, and in the end, they accepted that I could apply to one of the art schools in Korea. Since then, they have been the best supporter of my artworks. At the time, to get into one of the art program in Korea, students had to go through a really intensive entrance exam. I got classical training in drawing and sculpting from observation using one of these Greek and Roman statues. Especially drawing skill were important requirement to get into art schools. It was not easy to get into college at the time since we could apply only one school. And then if you fail to get in, the person who need to wait entire year to get another entrance exam. So I probably spent hundreds of hours preparing for this test to pass the exam. This is an example of what we were required to do in the exam. So we had 3 hours of drawing session to complete this on 18 by 24-inch drawing pad, and 4 hours for sculpting a life-size bust from the building armature to finish the sculpture. I was one of the lucky ones, and I got into the sculpture program at Ewha Women's University. I got my undergraduate and graduate degree in the sculpture department. In Korea, art education is somewhat different than the US. It's more traditional, I want to say, compared to here, especially for the undergraduate program. It emphasized more skills and techniques and knowledge about the mediums. At the time, there were not many interdisciplinary approaches. So if you are in a sculpture department, you remain and take just all the sculpture classes. But it gave me a strong skill set about the medium we used. I usually work with the clay modeling, stone, wood carving, and welding, and I became familiar with a variety of mediums such as epoxy, silicone, resin, and clay. Clay modeling was the most exciting subject for me, and I was drawn to express the human motion that has organic form and a rhythmic beauty. The image on the left is a pencil drawing, and every semester we made life-size figures based on human anatomy, finding bone and muscle structures. We had live models for all the studio art courses, and then cast these pieces with another medium such as cement or resin. And that was a mandatory class for all sculpture majors. The image on the right is my work in progress in my junior year in my undergrad, and then my workspace at the time. So this was the finished work, cast with a resin, colored with oil painting, mimicking the color of bronze, and I used black marble as a pedestal. For my senior show, I submitted 3 works to graduate. I made 2 girls on the balance beam. These are the life-size human figures, and I took a lot of photos of one of my friends from theater department. And then I cast it with a resin and painted with a oil color. Another piece for the senior show was 4 seasons. In this project, I wanted to capture nature scenes using acrylic mirrors. 4 sections depict each season with the different colors of tree. This sculpture pulled in the environment and also reflect back to the observers. The work is about 8 feet high. This is a metal work with welding and acrylic for the senior show. Then I got into the graduate school in sculpture, the same school at Ewha Women's University, and I tried to find my own voice as an artist. At the time, I have concentrated on the process of finding my own identity, and I feel that that is similar to searching for the fundamental truth of nature. For me, nature is mysterious. It creates in me somewhat awe for the universe, and to be aware of myself. So from the time in my graduate school, I had a chance to read one of the books from Gaston Bachelard, Water and Dreams, which is an essay on the imagination of matter. He talked about rejuvenating power of water, narcissism, inevitable cycle of life and death, and time, so on. From that moment, I began to contemplate nature as a reflection of psyche, and I tried to find the common denominators between nature and a human life. Meditation is an essential tool in my work, and the quote in this slide from French writer Milan Kundera. From here, I want to share about my inspiration for my artwork. And the first artist is Bill Viola. Bill Viola, The Crossing, is a thought-provoking video work. This piece offered a different perception of art making and shifted my interest to just imitating natural landscape to capturing the spirit of nature. I was amazed by his poetic expression filled with metaphors. In this video, droplet fall on human and then become a column of water completely covering the man. The screen fade out and then this process is repeated. He regarded was as a destructive force as well as the metaphor for the energy of life. Viola asked questions about the meaning of human life, time, and the relationship between nature and physical existence. Another artist I'm looking at is Toho Seo. Using architectural environment, Korean artist Toho Seo addresses the dynamic of personal space versus public space in his construction of site-specific installations. Ultimately, he's questioning the boundary of identity. He and I have things in common in that we moved to another country, experienced different culture, and have an overwhelming desire to seek and express our identity. He also illuminates time, space, and culture. Reflection is made out of fabric, a replica of one of the traditional Korean gates of a house, which is based on the former entrance to his family's home. It consists of two gates made from nylon fabric, which are separated by a translucent fabric floor, so which appears to be reflection. It encourages contemplation on how we remember images and space. I really appreciate his attempt to illuminate both physical and metaphorical space using his fragmented visual memories from his hometown. He tried to capture a metaphorical and psychological aspect by thinking of reflection in space. So from here, you will see my work during graduate school in Korea under the name of the expression of self-image reflected on the water. I use body images as a symbol of myself and utilize physical and metaphorical water images. Once I had an opportunity to meet a fortune teller and talked about my 4 pillars and 8 characters of my fate. At the time, she said that I should always try to be near water to create a better life because I lack water in my 4 pillars. In general, 4 pillars and 8 characters mean one's fate is determined by the time of one's birth in Eastern society. I know that that cannot be totally true, but from the moment I frequently visit the ocean, river, and lakes whenever I have emotions or experience that are good or bad. Water brought me relaxation and peace of mind and offered a moment where I could meditate. With the theme of self-image and nature, this is an assimilation of the two. I cast my body and then cast it with resin. I use translucent material inside to emulate the conceptual and then physical quality of water and its nuance. I also utilize actual water, which fills the shape of the human form. I installed motor inside, so there is continuous circulation of water inside the human figure. This process allowed me to understand the relationship between thought and image, subtlety, and the complexity of the communication through material. This is flow. I use fabric and actual water inside the human form. This is a life size. This is a beast into the water. This was an attempt to display the somewhat fossilized moment of confrontation with me and the version of me in the depth of the unknown. If you see these pieces, each piece has a flat surface, but if you look at closely, one might feel the depth with a part of the human body. To capture the essence of my existence, I thought about my nature in the past, present, and future. The water reflects this image, and I become the mountain. As a projector displays a change in time, I also change while remaining myself. This is a smoke-fired one, ceramics, and I installed a beam projector and introduced changing landscapes. I believe art is a reflection of life. Through my ongoing interest in the figure and nature, I expressed a natural landscape with a reference to the human form by personifying nature. The valley of the mountain ranges are circulating of water, which serve to give balance and life. In the human body, circulating blood references the stream of water in nature, and like water going through mountain ranges, memory go through our bodies. The bottom left is one of the processes of working with pink foam, casting it with resin and installing light underneath. After I graduated, I rented a studio space with a few friends. I had a great facility and equipment to make sculptural work while I was attending school, but not anymore after the graduation. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I couldn't make artwork. I began to use papers and resins to make new body of work without using heavy-duty equipment. Using water theme, I made a series of work with the traditional paper, hanji, with the blue pigment and resin pieces. This is the one I wrote for the series at the time. I used a blue color in general for my art pieces. Blue remind me of endless, infinite space, purity, and the source of imagination. This shows dyeing and drying process using paper pulps. Hanji is a traditional paper in Korea from dak tree, mulberry tree. In this series, I try to show the effects of the ripples of time, existence, disappearance by numerous layers of paper. Rippling with the paper and the resin, and then I cast my face and install the light underneath. Another version. As a symbol of human feature and personal identity, I utilize images of fingerprints in transparent resin and paper. This image shows my studio at the time in Korea. Before I came to the US, I had two collaborators with the name of project group Breathe, who were sharing studio space together. We made an exhibition plan together and submitted a lot of gallery proposal for group show and public artwork. The title of this installation was Breathing Wall. The length of this aisle was about 45 feet. We made this wall in continuous movement with motor, and the lighting inside of the wall. There was also sensor as people walk through the aisle that would pick up the motion and causing the sound of breathing and movement to take place. The title of this work is Rest. At this time, we thought about the rest of the body and mind. We try to use all other senses along with the visual aspect of art and give viewers the place where they can interact with the artwork. We made 5 sections of symbolic human organs to draw out images of essential stability, pose-up time, very comfortable breathing, healing, and detoxification of parts of the body, such as heart, liver, brain, and lung. We create a specific flow of the viewer's traffic, so we control the viewer's traffic. This is an entrance of the show, and the column is long, and where you can hear a very comfortable breathing sound. The image on the left is a room. As you come into this place, you will notice a reflection of water and warm light. When in the room, people can feel a primitive feeling of comfort. The bottom right is the heart. When you lie down or sit, you can hear the sound of heart beating, and this gives us a feeling of peaceful rest. The top left represents the liver that helps detoxify the body, and the bottom right is about the brain. We collected precious objects that relate to our childhood memories and captured them in the transparent plastic bowls. And we hung these bowls from top to bottom, ceiling to floor using elastic strings. So this allows people to walk between the strings. If you pass this room, you will meet the place of the brain, the rest of the brain. So we utilize a video projector for this section. The title of this exhibition was Room, which is about communication between people. We thought that walls symbolize blocking intimacy between people. We used the entire gallery space, including windows and stairs. On windows, we draw the blueprint of the building and room and make this inside visible. Made a wall soft, installed video projectors, which shows short-time video with multiple drawings. Since a room is defined by the wall that confine it, we wanted to recreate the concept of the room by softening the wall's effect to resemble a bird nest to give comfort. This is a title. This title was Fish's Dream. The school of fish represent mankind and thus an individual disappears in the masses. The sky is the limit to our potential. This is why we brought the fish out of their natural environment to show this constant forward progression. This is a CNC gallery, which is located on cliff, and you can see the ocean right outside of the window. We installed more than 800 fish for the entire gallery space. So later on, we had several exhibitions under the same title, Fish's Dream, all over the country. Some are within gallery and some are outside, like in the public square of Cheonggye in the city of Seoul. This project involved making close to 1,000 life-size fish out of fiber and hanging them over Cheonggye Square. At the time, Seoul City was celebrating the unveiling of previously concealed waterway running through the center of the city. So the idea was to create the sense of a giant school of fish swimming through the air. To hang these wire lines with 100 of fish over the stream, many people assisted us in installing them. During the installation process, we accidentally dropped one of the wires. and then that fell into the stream. Can you imagine how heavy that was? Because all the fish is made out of cotton and felt. It was extremely heavy. We ended up finished our installation, and people enjoyed the artwork. We showcased this body of work multiple times, over 10 times in a different location with a different format. Since I love to use clay as a medium, and I also, my goal at the time was teaching college level students, so I decided to come to the US for further study in ceramics. So I searched for information about the ceramic program in the US, and I applied to Syracuse University for my graduate program in ceramics. I admire their faculty's work and also their facilities. From here, you will see the work after I came to the US. In the US, I keep continuing to use water and mountain as my inspiration source. Water and mountain makes me think about space, time, memory, and my life. The title of this work is A Jump into the Water. We usually have a very busy and repetitive daily life. I think we need to sometimes stop or slow down for a second and then rethink about ourselves. I wanted to capture the moment of meditation, which is related to one's memory. And I used a human who tried to jump into the water to express the moment that we dive into many layers of our memory. So water is metaphor for my life experience and feelings. Each memory that comprises my own identity contains a very specific moment and feelings at that time. I think all the memories of one's life have an important role in one's character and their life. I wanted to provide the time to heal oneself by looking back on one's own memory, reflecting in the water. With my water theme, I created an installation of human droplets and transparent organic shape. I wanted to capture rain as a poetic expression of human memory by showing numerous layers of water. The raindrop motifs utilize ceramic objects, representing physical human figures to create the feeling of water droplets. These are the vacuum formed plastic. And this is a top view. I found I really enjoyed the shadowing effect that appears on the wall when the work was installed. It felt like the human shape became the raindrops, and the shadows suggest deep and sentimental feelings. This work is a wall-hung piece made with a numerous layer of colored clay. To create a soft feeling, I constructed multiple layers of circles with a tint and shade of blue to represent a continuous time stream. I feel the color blue stimulate our imagination and reminds viewers of infinite universe while maximizing the psychological effect associated with a sense of the depth of the water and endless space. In this piece, I constructed a figure with the ripples to capture the moment when I contemplate self, memories, and life by using white terra sizzlata on the figure. Once again, ripples are made out of blue colored clay. I often use white as a color for the human figures in my work to express fleeting moments, meditation, and peace. A journey with the lotus symbolizes my hope and dreams. Life in general has muddy as well as crystal-like moments. The lotus can have profound effect on these moments. I made 3 life-size figures who are trying to jump into the water, symbolizing the moment when we think about ourselves and our memories. The water is arranged in large concentric circles, fabricated from letters of my friends and family. Letters have been important throughout my life. I have saved letters from the time I was a child. The letters represent my life journey. This image shows my room in my graduate school at Syracuse University. I made a life-size human figure and I cast it with a plaster with a multiple parting line for opening. I used this mold as a press mold and created 3 different poses out of this. Then constructing all different poses part by part in the kiln. And I hung all the figures from the ceiling. It was challenging, but I pretty much like all the processes. The lotus flower grows and roots in a muddy water, yet it gradually blooms above the water surface. The lotus is a symbolic flower in the Eastern religion, representing rebirth, purity, self-regeneration, and also virtue of soul. The root of the lotus represents material life, and the flower represents the astral world with the meaning of enlightenment. The lotus symbolizes many things, but I chose to focus on its purifying aspect. This is a temporary reflection. I once had an acquaintance who was my friend and also a teacher. We often used to go outside to discover scenic attractions. He used to say to me, engrave deep in your heart what you see, what you listen to, how you feel in this right moment, and never forget. Sadly, he suddenly passed away, and that made me contemplate death and the afterlife. In the afterlife, I believe we become one with nature. I can vividly visualize those moments, but they are not tangible anymore. So from this idea, I created this temporal reflection by using a mountain shape. When the light hits in a very specific way, the mountain casts a human shadow. And then I consider this shadow is my self-portrait. I decided to use unfired clay because of the ephemeral and temporal quality of clay. I think mountain contains huge mass with a far-off space perception and time. I want to express the relationship between human life and the experienced nature scene and the feeling of energy of mountain that cannot be explained. Later on, I decided to create this piece larger for my MFA show. I got all the mountain undulations and built a wooden structure and began to fill with the styrofoam. And this is a top view. The mountain itself is 6 by 9 feet. So I made this with the 3 sections and covered with the surface with a terracotta color plasticine, which is oil-based clay. I assembled this in the gallery, and it provided a surprising moment when the viewer noticed that there is a shadow cast by the mountain. So you can see the size from here. The title of this work is a mediator. I also think about life and death and afterlife. Cardinal represent the heart and life, and the crow symbolize death. In 2016, I came to Kentucky and joined the art and design program at Northern Kentucky University to teach ceramics. We have a great ceramic and sculpture facility in spatial arts at NKU, and this is a view of the Fine Arts Center. Really nice photo, right? At my institution, I had an opportunity to showcase amazing ceramic work for the NCCA conference. NCCA is the annual conference and it stands for the National Council on Education for Ceramic Arts, and it usually draws more than 5,000 people from all around the country. In 2021, NCCA was held in Cincinnati. I prepared a venue originating exhibition and invited past and current ceramic faculties at NKU and 8 ceramic artists from Syracuse. This was the first time exhibiting drift series, A Dream Within a Dream. In this drift series, I wanted to capture a calm, serene moment or moment of meditation during our chaotic time. All the drift series were created during the coronavirus pandemic. I watched the news every day and had a feeling of being surrounded by death. Reflecting on the struggles of people around the world, I began to construct gray figures with the closed eyes, suggesting a dreamlike, meditative, or sleeping state. They are slowly drifting down a river or flow with the current. With this work, I had a solo show at Western Art Gallery in Cincinnati using whole atrium space there. I also revisited journey piece and hung them on the ceiling. The concentric circle are about 16 feet, which is made out of the letter I received. NCCA 2023 was held in Cincinnati again because of the coronavirus pandemic. They had to switch the 21 as a virtual, even if we offer in-person gallery opening. The gallery coordinator of NKU and I applied for the venue originating exhibition and invited 15 well-known Korean ceramic artists working and residing in the United States. I had a chance to show this drift series with a different composition with new figures in the main gallery. I borrowed the title from Edgar Allan Poe's poem, A Dream Within a Dream. The poem expresses doubt and uncertainty about the nature of reality after losing his lover. He's questioning whether life itself is just an illusion. I thought about the feeling I had in this pandemic situation, which is somewhat similar to the feeling of drifting in a deep and heavy water. At the same time, I was thinking, am I dreaming? Is this real? I use a grayscale tone with underglaze and oxide to symbolize the shadow of our lives, as well as the ephemeral quality of time and human life. I wanted to express the human figure as a representation of soul and memories, and I considered the figure to be self-image formally and metaphorically. This is a snapshot of our life journey. I wanted to suggest a place where the viewers can think about their own quiet reveries from these chaotic times. This is all made out of stoneware, and the size is approximately 10 to 18 inches. This is an individual piece, one of the drift series with the ripples. And I made a series of these pieces, and then this is an exhibition view at Offload Gallery in Cincinnati. Recently, I had a sabbatical year. During this time, I received an invitation to participate in the Autumn Art Fair and ceramic residency in China. I stayed in JeeEun Lee and in Taochuxian in Jingdezhen, China, for approximately 2 months. This place is a 1,000 years old historical site where they manufactured ceramic works for the Qing and Ming dynasties. The entire city is oriented with the ceramic, having lots of ceramic shops and residencies and galleries. This was a wonderful opportunity to communicate with artists across the world and get new inspirations. This is my workspace in an international studio in Tachushan. And there were about 8 artists at the same time in the same studio space, and a little bit more than 20 international artists across the world in Tachushan. I had a chance to experiment with the various foam and tested new material. So with this inspiration from here, my more recent body of work, the title of this work is Float. Moving between Korea and the US, this work expresses a sense of belonging, time, and place. This is a wall hanging piece. It represents a sense of belonging, a contemplation of where I fit in, and the memories tied to the time and space. I fabricated mountains with red clay, and figures are all white stoneware. All of these pieces went through multiple firing with underglaze and oxide, more than 3 firings. And this photo shows a solo exhibition at Aramont School of Art and Craft in Tennessee. And last summer, I had a chance to give a 2-week workshop on figure in clay at Aramont. I had a great time. This institution is located in Gallenberg, Tennessee. My art practice also includes making functional works and also small sculptural objects. These are the porcelain pieces with a sgraffito. A series of abstract forms made from wheels, assembling together. And this is a part of the work from the recent installation at Western Art Gallery for the Summer Fair Select show. This is a pretty new too. This is my recent work from Companion Gallery in Tennessee. Another work for that gallery, this is a pouring vessel and then cups. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much joining me today and listening to my lecture. I would be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
This program was sponsored by the Cincinnati Asian Arts Society. We hope it helped you learn more about Asian art, artists, and culture. For more information about CAS, our schedule of free programs, and recordings of previous programs, please visit cincinnatiasianartssociety.org. That's one word, cincinnatiasianartssociety.org. Thank you.